Welcome to DASGeek. I am here to show you a quick tip and trick about USB drives. Now what you're staring at right here is the SanDisk Extreme Pro USB 3.0 flash. This is one I picked up for a very specific reason, and we're going to show why that is so important here in a minute. But this is what I run on my Plex media server. For those who have watched my videos, you know that the Raspberry Pi 3 is fully capable of doing a Plex server, and I've set one up on one of those videos, and I needed a fast piece of memory here to store all the movies and TV shows and everything else. And why do I want a fast USB and not something like, say, this Lexar USB drive that costs around $5? Well, as you can see here, this is 128-bit, so more capacity, but capacity is not just important. The read and write speeds here on this Extreme Pro are very, very impressive. 260 megabytes per second on the read, and the write at 240 megabytes per second. So very, very important to have those two features, and I'm going to show you why here in a second when I do a speed test between a standard drive. And this isn't a comparison to say, oh, get this one over this one. These drives are fantastic. They come about $5, and they're perfect for moving files in between your computers, maybe even installing or doing recoveries that you throw off into a desk drawer at some point in case you need it in the future. These drives work beautifully for that. But if you're doing a media server or anything where read and write speeds become important, then that's where something like this is very, very necessary. So the whole point of this video is to really tell you not all USB drives are created equal, and to show you why. And you can see when you go to this Lexar drive, and not that Lexar doesn't have more expensive drives, so this is not to beat up on Lexar. I got like 5 of these for 16 bucks, and they're amazing. They work perfectly. But when you go into a media server, something like that, you're going to want a little more power, and that's what this video is about. And you can see they're not even going to talk about your transfer rates and speeds on this particular drive here, because you're not buying it for that. You're really just buying something to have, you know, some quick storage for. So let's take a look at this video that I did here. I wanted to move one document, and the first one we're going to do is we're going to move to the Plex Media H drive, which is the SanDisk Extreme Pro, and then the next one, the Recovery I drive, which is the Lexar. We're going to move the same file to both, and then this will show you kind of a time difference here. And let me go to a full screen view so you can see. So now we're going to move that file over, about a 754 megabyte file, and you can see it's taking about 15 seconds to move that over, or at about 40 megabytes per second, which is quite impressive. Now obviously there are other factors that can increase that speed even more or throttle that speed, but very, very good speed. Now we're going to move it to our Lexar, which is over here, and you're going to see the right difference here. Now we went from 40 megabytes per second to about 8, and we're at about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So you can see already the huge difference between these two drives, and that's why it's so important when you're setting up a media server or something that needs to access data quickly that you go with a more expensive USB drive, but specifically not just the expensive, but something that actually shows its read and write speeds and advertises those for media applications. And the same thing goes for cameras when you're using those SD cards. If you've noticed, when you take a picture with your camera, it's taking a long time before it allows you to take another picture. That could very well happen to be an issue with utilizing very low-end memory card, and it's taking a long time to write that picture to your camera. So you can clean that up really easily by picking up a faster, higher class SD card, and it will fix that issue for you. But if you're having issues with your media server, I saw some individuals talking about the Raspberry Pi and the Plex or other versions like Kodi having really slow seek times or run times. It's very possible that you're throttled at your data point, so definitely take a look at what USB or storage device options you're using and the speed that that device has. Even if you have an external hard drive being attached to that device and it's only 5400 RPM or 7200 RPM, you could be creating unnecessary throttle points for your media server. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll have some more information for you coming soon later this week. Until next time, get out there and continue to fill your brains.
Don't get subscribed. Does not like the video.